All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for it, guys. RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 3.
Unforeseen complications.
Oh, yes.
That sounds foreboding.
Very foreboding. I'm guessing this is the bit that Ilia was saying would be stopping
exactly.
Blake from exercising their plan.
Because now, Sienna Khan is...
Yeah, because episode 2 happened.
It did.
And
it
now
kind of did.
And now that that's happened, I think there will be a little bit more bad guys winning in specific areas before things get better. But yeah. I think with Ozpin having joined back with the group, we could see some serious, good guys kind of planning things out and get everything ready.
Absolutely. We could also see potentially Yang storming in on,
but if it's unforeseen complications, then it could be that, Yang couldn't have been prepared for the Spring Maiden.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I was thinking Weiss being captured. But...
Weiss being captured is an unforeseen complication, absolutely. Her obviously being held for ransom.
Right.
Since they hit the jackpot.
Exactly.
As Raven so aptly put.
Yes.
I don't know. I think the main bits this episode is going to be the Ozpin Ozker bit, and then whatever happens with Blake, whatever they're going public with.
Because that is definitely going to be a thing.
Because there's a whole ton of knowledge they could have found on that scroll.
Oh yeah.
So depending on what they're going public with, it could go very well, but also
it could also just totally flop.
They could,
This could be where Ghira dies, maybe. Or, it sets that up,
Or at the very least, they have to flee.
Yes.
Right before
that would be awesome
fight goes
to see.
down. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this episode and see what happens.
Okay.
Pensive. Planning?
Or maybe...
Mourning?
A letter saying that Sienna Khan has been assassinated.
Hopefully not. Adam Taurus. I don't think it's a letter about that.
Yes.
Oh, it's his speech.
It won't be easy for people to hear, but the truth often isn't.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know they'll do the right thing.
He's big.
He's a big dude. Yeah, it's true.
You got this.
Yes,
that was the most sensitive voice I've heard from Sun ever.
Pretty much.
In Ghira's presence. It's like, you've got this.
It's the most sensitive voice, period.
Probably, yeah. I just realized Ghira looks like a badass in purple.
He does.
Purple is a good color.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a royalty color, but... Ooh, the press.
These
filming with their scrolls.
That other dude with them, though, he looked really cool.
The guard?
Yeah,
Thank
the
you all
scar.
for assembling here. I wanted to take time to address some of the rumors that have been circulating around our island.
Here we go.
I believe that it is important for the people of this territory to understand the truth. No matter how you feel about the human race, I think we can all agree that the event now known as the Fall of Beacon was a tragedy. A tragedy that will set both man and faunus kind back.
Okay.
While the main aggressor is still unknown, we do have official confirmation that Adam Taurus, the leader of a powerful splinter group working inside the White Fang, was partially responsible for these attacks. His actions not only tarnish the reputation of an organization originally created to bring peace and equality to all, but to our entire race. With each day that this man remains unpunished, it becomes increasingly difficult to condemn those that look down upon us.
It's true.
But...
Recently, a spy from this same splinter group set their sights on this very home. My own daughter, Blake, and her friend did their very best to apprehend this individual. While they were unsuccessful after being physically assaulted and seriously injured, they were successful in obtaining the
Here we go.
Faunus attacking other faunus.
With this, we have been able to ascertain that Adam Taurus has plans to overthrow the current leader of the White
Oh,
Fang,
wow.
Sienna Khan, and
Okay.
take
Oh.
the reins himself.
That kind of rains on Adam's whole parade with the martyr thing.
it'll be a rival story.
There.
Exactly.
The documents on this scroll proclaim his next target to be Haven Academy, and
there it is.
CCT tower.
There it is.
To strike on the last full moon before the beginning of the
wow.
fall semester, roughly 2 months from today.
2 months.
All right, we got a timeline.
My swiftest messenger to the government of Mistral, but I believe we have a greater.
Is this timeline happening at a different time than the Ranger timeline? I have
My relationship
with
Fang has been an interesting one.
Yeah,
Years
it's
ago,
a little interesting.
I led the organization to help try and create a world where I and every Faunus who wished could walk alongside the human race. And while I believe we made great strides toward this goal, it was made clear to me that the people both in and out of the White Fang wanted faster results. So I stepped down.
But he still gets the respect as a leader. Look at how intently they're listening to him.
And I love that there's all these phones.
That I do not fully condone many of her methods.
Like, this is something that's going to be recorded.
Even
if he ends up getting silenced afterwards.
The idea that the Faunus and humans are, and should be, equal. Adam Taurus does not seem to have that goal in mind.
The new animation is great.
It is.
No one but himself.
The facial expressions are so much more vivid and expressive.
Yeah. The Faunus showed the world.
They really are.
That we are equals. Time that we snuff out this splinter group and restore the White Fang to what it once was.
Okay. Seems
positive results.
Positive.
Yeah.
But where's the turn?
This, I think the answer is clear. We must go to Haven and protect it at all costs.
Oh. Not so interested in helping humans.
Okay, this could be an interesting way to have there be the turnaround.
Before we proceed any further, I'd like to invite my daughter to come and share.
Will Blake do any better?
Not only as a former member of the White Fang, but also as a survivor of the fall of Beacon.
That's true.
Here we go.
Adam was doing some pretty shady stuff over there.
Yeah.
Tried to kill her.
Do this.
Traitors!
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Ilia.
Just Ilia?
Cowards. After everything the humans have done to us, everything
they could just say, yeah, the scroll we got was yours.
To help them?
I know we haven't been treated fairly.
Where was their help when the dust companies treated our people like slaves?
Wow, good voice acting.
Where was their help when kingdoms hunted Faunus just for being who they are? Where was my help when my parents were killed in a dust mine?
Dang, the emotion in that. That was good.
Progress takes patience and cooperation.
The Belladonnas are the worst kind of Faunus. They want us to work with the same people that are trying to hold us down. If you truly want to help
I like the
your
music,
people,
too.
now is the time to support
Son trying to be a
Adam,
ninja.
not the Belladonnas. He will bring about the future that you deserve. And if you are unwilling to fight,
she's already saying Adam, not Sienna Khan.
Yeah.
will do it for you.
Shut up!
Wow, you suck, son.
It's not a sneak attack if you...
Yeah.
After
Yo.
her.
Oh, the Scar guys.
Okay.
Getting a line. Oh, yes, we have nothing to do here.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh!
Reincarnated.
Oh, isn't it weird?
Oh, their little theories.
It is very weird, yes.
Yes, just a little.
Okay. Let's all just take a second.
Yeah, calm down, everybody.
This is very overwhelming for everyone.
Yes.
Especially me, because I have a hangover.
Oh my gosh. But Oscar, too. Like,
Yeah,
this has got to be freaking weird.
just a bit.
Oh, the shippers are going to go crazy with that.
Yeah,
I've
they
never
are.
met huntsmen and huntresses before.
He might even be blushing there.
We've never met a person with 2 souls, so first times all around.
Not to break up the whole
Yeah, we have things to talk
game,
about.
but we need to have a talk.
Yes.
Mind showing us your little parlor trick, kid?
Ooh, parlor trick.
Is he gonna do something with the cane?
Yeah, okay. Just so you know, I'll still be here.
He's going to bring out Ozpin.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh!
All right, that.
Oh my gosh!
I love what they're doing with the voices.
What just happened?
Professor Ozpin? Correct. And though I may be the one speaking, Oscar is still present.
It's a mix of their voices.
Hand over the controls, so to speak.
Oh my gosh!
Make us do anything embarrassing. I'm afraid this all must be very perplexing.
And alarming, and bizarre, and just really kind of hard to believe overall.
Is that a JoJo's reference?
It's good to see you children still have your sense of humor.
I love how he's using like Ozpin-like mannerisms.
Yes.
You know?
I'm sorry.
Oh. And Ozpin's voice came out stronger on that.
Your fault?
It's all my fault. I told you once that I made more mistakes than any man.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. We need to get back to this.
Exaggerating. I'm cursed. For thousands of years, I have walked the surface of Remnant, living, dying, and reincarnating in the body of a like-minded soul.
Like-minded soul.
The Professor Ozpin you all met was not my first form.
Of course.
Right.
It clearly wasn't my last. It's an extraordinarily strenuous process on everyone involved.
So what are you?
Yeah, here we go.
I am the combination of countless men who have spent their lives trying to protect the people of Remnant.
Wow.
Okay.
With every rebirth, my soul is eventually merged with another. And I am changed. But my memories stay with me.
Okay.
Wow.
This curse was bestowed upon me by the gods.
Oh my
because I failed to
gosh.
stop
All right.
the past. But we must stop her now.
That's huge. We are
Okay,
going to discuss so much on that.
How do we do that?
We start by ensuring the safety of the Relic of Knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Unforeseen complications.
Weiss is back in a cage.
Ugh. So true. Patriarchal cage to a matriarchal cage.
Look who's awake.
That's right. We'll get to hear "This Life Is Mine" again, hopefully.
What's going on? Where am I?
You know, I never thought I'd see a Schnee in this camp.
That's
Oh, I recognize that voice.
And the opening. That's the Spring Maiden.
Well, yeah. But the voice. Could that be Jennifer Hale?
What do you want?
Straight to the point. I like it.
That does sound like
We
her.
don't normally deal in trafficking people. Not really worth our time.
Is it?
But
It
once
could
we
be.
realized we
Can
had
they
a
actually
Schnee,
afford Jennifer
that
Hale?
I don't know.
changed.
You're going to ransom me back to my father. Is that it?
Well, yeah. We'll try.
It's a shame you're a Schnee. You'd probably do quite well around here.
I would
think that might
never
be.
sink to your level.
It's slightly different, but it could be.
Just keep quiet and cooperate, and you'll be back in your mansion before you know it. Don't make this complicated.
I really like
What's
this
going to make
character.
this complicated is when my sister finds out that I didn't make it to Mistral.
Oh, winter. Winter is
Okay.
coming.
You know my
Winter is
sister,
coming.
don't you? Winter Schnee, special operative of the Atlas military. She's in Mistral now. And when she hears I'm missing, it won't take her long to find
Winter
me.
and spring will have a little tiff.
And
I guess so.
Maybe that's how Winter will die. Yeah, they're like, you don't know who this person is, do you? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's more funny or sad, but you're clearly out of the loop.
A little bit.
Your
bit.
sister isn't in Mistral anymore.
Oh.
No
How do
Atlas
they know?
personnel are in Mistral anymore.
Oh, Ironwood.
Ironwood. Yep.
Ironwood closed the borders and
Yeah.
recalled all of his little troops and tin cans.
We're gonna get Dictator
No person
Ironwood.
to rescue you.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's gonna be interesting.
This is perfect!
Nora.
Stuck at a debt in. Now we can just take little cute boy Ozpin.
Oh my gosh, she's going all Ida. Yes.
That was amazing.
Don't call me that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That's the best idea.
Oh my gosh.
But I thought the headmasters all took their orders from you. That was the intention. 4 lieutenants I can trust, especially during times of reincarnation.
Oh.
Crow told me about your meeting with Leonardo.
Oh, he doesn't trust him.
He isn't just behaving irrationally. He's disobeying specific instructions I had left him.
Okay.
Something's wrong.
Is he trying to leave a code for help?
Ooh, that would be cool.
Don't rule out any possibilities either.
Okay.
No one outside of this room knows that I've paired with Oscar, and I think it may be best to keep it that way.
He's their secret weapon.
Yep. Until we got a better hand.
Precisely.
Right. Good call.
Now we have 2 steps ahead of us. The first is enlisting the aid of more huntsmen.
Ooh, good.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Get more forces.
own every huntsman in the kingdom, and I've been here enough times to know where we can find some more.
So long as they're trustworthy.
Sweet.
You can trust them to put up a good fight.
Okay.
Our
Cool.
list tonight.
Good luck with that.
Ah! Good luck.
See what you did there.
We can move on to step 2.
Which is...
What's step 2?
Getting you 4 into fighting shape.
Ah, training.
Ooh.
Training for Jean
Yeah,
Semblance.
yeah.
How to fight.
You can only fight so long as you have crescent rows, but you're still lacking in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
Well,
It's not super important, though, is it?
Mr. R,
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you've improved, but sorry to say you've yet to unlock your semblance.
Ah, yep.
All of you still have a ways to go before you're ready to pose any
Oh.
real threat against Salem and her
Okay.
forces.
Oh my
And though
gosh.
Oscar can give me temporary control, he'll need to strengthen his body and his aura.
Good.
Wait,
Cool.
What? You'll inherit my muscle memory in time, but practice will expedite the process.
All right.
if Crow's out
Okay.
looking for huntsmen, then who's going to teach us?
Well, obviously. Yeah.
The headmaster.
Uh-huh.
Well, I believe I was the headmaster of Beacon Academy.
Well said.
We have a
Their
process
faces.
in one-
Nora's just totally not buying this.
Yep.
If Salem were to plan an attack, it would make sense that it occur prior to students' return. It's
That
not
makes
much
sense.
time, but it's better than nothing.
Okay.
Just don't expect me to go easy on you.
Oh, whoop.
All right.
Okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
So there are 3 bandits in this camp total. I guess the others are out on some kind of mission or something.
Or sleeping in their tents or
Sure,
whatever.
possibly.
A mini knight.
It's so small.
It's so cute.
Rooster Teeth, you have to make a toy of this.
Yes,
ASAP.
absolutely.
Like a plushie or something. I don't know.
I'm thinking like a full-on action figure.
Sure. All right, here we go. Yep, of course. Of course. Next
right.
episode. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh, okay,
right.
good. All right, so we've got all the pieces, I would say, put into place.
Yeah.
I would say they have the Menagerie bit basically doomed to fail, unfortunately.
Right.
And that's the part that I think is a little bit scary, because it depends on how cavalier Rooster Teeth is about killing off characters.
Yes.
Because Adam did promise to destroy everything that she loved.
Yeah.
And if he comes back and he's like, all right, I need all the faunus. You are all subservient to me.
Right, exactly.
You know, he weaves his tale about
Yeah.
trying to defend Sienna Khan against a huntsman or huntress or whatever.
Right. The idea that Hitler conquered Germany first. You know?
Yes, that is a very good point. So, does he have a fight in Menagerie with maybe some resistance fighters, Blake, Sun, the
Possibly.
Belladonnas? Or is it just going to be a thing if he walks in, Ghira, he says bow down, and Ghira says no, and he chops his head off, or they have a fight?
Yeah,
because
that's more of what I think it'll.
That's why I think it's going to be a more moderate version of that. Like,
right.
At the very least, Ghira and Kali are going to get captured, and then they will.
Ghira's gonna die.
Yeah,
What happens with the others? Who knows? They might be able to run away.
Yeah, I think Adam might show a different response to Sienna in this respect, because I don't think that Ghira poses a true threat to him. I think that that Sienna was a much bigger threat, but I think that Ghira could be a nuisance, and I think that Adam could just go with the I'm going to kill the nuisance before it happens. But I feel like that's again a bit too public of a thing.
Yeah,
to
he
do.
needs to keep the illusion that
that he's
Sienna
doing
Khan
this.
was assassinated, and because she died,
I bear the burden of the whole thing. Maybe Ghira will do the whole political thing, and he'll be like, "No, let's call for an election," or maybe we'll get to see how they decide the White Fang's leader in this sort of instance.
Right. That would be very interesting.
That would be interesting to find out. That say,
Ghira isn't a part of the White Fang anymore.
We'll see. That's the thing.
I mean, he was a previous leader.
He could still be a part of the White Fang without being the leader.
Okay.
And it'd be a question of, well, he was the leader at one point. Who do we want as the leader? And I think that's where
that would be
a little
way
bit
more interesting to see, I think, than just Adam coming in and like burning their home.
But I feel like one way this could go is very quickly Blake and Son are sent away once things start to go bad. Like, get out of here, get to Haven.
Right, that's what
they help.
And this is how they could basically get them to actually agree to leave. Say like, hey, both of you need to go and let them know what's going on in Menagerie, that Adam's done this, and basically that there might be an ally in the Faunus if they help them deal with the White Fang that are now like starting to take over and become dictatorial.
Yes. So all in all, that bit had, I would say, kind of the pieces set into place again, but there was no like huge thing that happened.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that because
in a way, Ilia's little protest of a speech or what have you was kind of weak.
Yeah, like, it was kind of weak. Like okay,
I get that you have a very compelling story and you have a very like strong emotional connection to this Ilia, but you needed more people there with you,
right? And the idea
and you're kind of discredited without being completely discredited because you were the one that attacked there. So if they kept the conversation going,
right? And I think what they'll here's what I think they'll do. Yeah, they'll use the fact that Son basically tried to jump her as a way to say like, she had a point. They were trying to silence her, or some bullcrap like that.
No, I think it's more of the thing to show there's going to be a line drawn in the sand.
Right.
We're not going to go and exterminate you if you disagree with us, but we will do what we're doing with or without your help. But if you would like to make this happen, come join us. I feel like that's a good thing, and that they didn't do the dumb evil villain thing where they're like, you're either with us or against us.
It's like, well
only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that means it could go to some kind of political game, and I feel like that would be a more complex and interesting story.
That would be more interesting, but I don't think they have time for that really. Like
they kind of do. They said that the attack on Haven is going to be at least a month or something away.
That's
they said
true.
It was before the first semester of the next year of Haven.
Yeah, that's a great point. So this
at least a month or two.
This volume seems to be more like it's playing out like a strategy board game where it's like you're setting things up, you have your plan, and things are moving towards the things, but there isn't as much like big conflict along the way.
Right. No, there's a big conflict that's going to happen at Raven's tribe.
Oh, absolutely.
That's one of the big set pieces I think they're going to have.
I think that's going to be like the mid-season finale. Basically.
Right, because they'll have so many players
moving. Be episode 7.
Moving there. You could say that this is a game of players in pieces. Yeah. It's like RWBY combat ready. The timing is so uncanny.
Yeah.
So with Weiss's bit, since theirs was really short, we brought up the Spring Maiden.
We brought up the Spring Maiden, even though they didn't officially say that was the Spring Maiden. But
we know that's the Spring Maiden.
Yeah, that totally is.
That's totally the Spring Maiden. And I'm going to check her voice actor while you talk about the scene.
Because I think it might be Jennifer Hale. Like, it probably isn't, but that would be super cool if they got Jennifer Hale to do the Spring Maiden. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But, that was awesome having her summon the little, the mini knight to cut her ropes. And they mentioned that Winter was no longer at Haven because Ironwood had withdrawn their forces.
Right.
So we might be getting to see Dictator Ironwood, which, okay, I would love to see that. Like, I am kind of fan.
All right, pardon me. Get to the credits here. I can't believe I didn't just pause it on the...
Oh yeah,
actual bit there because it was shown.
Okay, wait,
much there. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So,
Vernal
Amber Lee Connors. Okay. I'll look that up. That's not Jennifer Hale.
No, I don't recognize that name.
But I definitely recognize her from some things.
Huh.
She's done a lot of anime.
Yeah, she's a more recent voice actress. Okay.
Okay, I don't think I've watched any of these.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I don't think I've seen any of that.
Okay, well, cool.
But
Amber Lee Connors,
she did a good job.
Great job. And Ilia's voice actress as well did a fantastic job with her anti-Ghira speech.
The us saying that was weak was not because of her performance, not because of Ilia's performance, but just the fact that
is the context and the content.
The context and the content. She was just one person saying no, we must do this. But there was
how dare you cowards? And it's like, okay, it's not bad, but
even if people agree with her, if she doesn't have anyone with her to create sort of that psychological effect of yes, there is a movement going, yes, we must side with her, kind of a thing.
Also, we don't know. Maybe it's assumed, but we don't know Ilia's role within the White Fang, so we don't know if her word carries really any clout or if she's just a regular member at the bottom of the tier. So to speak.
And here's one of the other things. Okay, how exactly do you become very well known in the White Fang? Because you have the masks. Unless you have some very very identifiable look. Say Adam. Okay, Adam. It's easy to tell. He's wearing the black trench coat and he's got the sword, right?
What do you mean well known?
Well, because for people outside
amongst the faunus?
Yeah, amongst the faunus. Because for people outside,
they don't wear masks then.
Sure,
they're all representatives of the White Fang. I don't think the point is to be well known. I mean that the idea is authority. Basically, you either have a role or you don't. I think within the White Fang.
Right. So then the fact that that Ilia didn't show her face, does that mean that she doesn't?
I don't think she has a role.
Much of a role.
No, I don't think she has an official title or anything.
Right. She
Fennec
seems almost
and Corsic,
Adam's
they don't wear masks, so they're important. They're kind of the envoys of sorts.
Well, and the masks are the symbol that Adam started, and Corsic and them they are taking up the pretense.
Yes, exactly.
That they're not.
So I would say, generally speaking, if you're in the White Fang, yeah, of course you can have notoriety. But if you're in Adam's group, it is harder.
Right. Well, maybe the notoriety is that you're in Adam's group.
Sure. That's another good point, is that they are trying to make it seem even more equal within the White Fang, in that you're all of the same mask. You're all of the same mind.
Sure.
We all have the same goal, the same mission. We are all equal in that
regard. Though it also distances themselves from the rest of the White Fang, which, they hinted that might happen, and
it's a cult thing,
and then they pulled it out from and then they didn't do that. Yeah, the cult thing, totally get it. But I want to see actual conflict within the White Fang.
Well, that's what they're setting up here, Jacob.
Right,
exactly. That's what this sets up,
especially now that Sienna's dead.
Okay, so with the Spring Maiden having the little square off with Weiss, and the fact that the Spring Maiden was kind of eyeing Mertenaster and kind of feeling out and stuff, do you get the idea that the Spring Maiden doesn't have a weapon, and because is relying more on her powers, and that when Weiss tries to break out, she's just gonna get absolutely destroyed by the Spring Maiden. It'll be kind of a thing of get back in your cage, and then Yang will come along and Weiss will have been beaten up because of the fight, and then Yang will be like, yo, what is this? What? And Raven's like, let me explain.
Either way, Weiss will be in the cage, not, assuming that she's still in there.
Also, I had to bring this up. We have taken Weiss from one cage to another, and it is kind of funny how this is is where Weiss's character goes from the beginning.
No.
I know. But
they just need excuses to play "This Life Is Mine" in the soundtrack because they know how awesome of a song it is and how much.
But this is a matriarchal cage. I'm just saying, your matriarchal prison. It's very.
That is a good point. That is a great point.
With Ranger and Crow and Oscar. That was probably the best bit of the episode.
Oh yeah, because hands down.
We got a very cool bit of exposition that was quite concise.
It was concise, and it confirmed the things that we
expected to be true.
Yeah.
That Oscar and Salem are both ancient. They're both
Ozpin.
Whoa, yeah, it's already happening.
Oh, yeah.
The merger has begun.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah. So Salem and Ozpin are ancient, but Ozpin, of course, was not his original form. So
Right.
it gives context to the line of when Ozpin was talking about, "I look among you and all I see is wasted energy."
Right.
And they're like, he wasn't even there. Someone, his previous form, was taking control at that moment.
Possibly.
I think that's the point. That
I thought they were implying through this that basically there ends up just not being a difference between them. It's just this homogenized, like they all get blended into the same person.
Yes, Jacob.
So then,
yes, but I'm just saying that in that instance, Ozpin's predecessor was in more control than Ozpin was.
Okay.
And that's why Ozpin didn't seem to be acting like himself.
Sure. All right. That would be a great explanation for the line.
Yeah, and it's, I think it's obviously foreshadowed. It's just the question of, because at that time they might have not honed in on the whole technology of the voice changing thing, because if they did, it would have been too obvious as to what's going on.
Yeah. What I would be interested in seeing if they did end up taking it this way is the point at which the line between Oscar and Ozpin gets so blurred that you can't tell which is which anymore.
Right, but I think the point of that is that's going to happen in future volumes.
Right, yes, because it's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, anytime soon, but that will happen, and it will be the idea of, will Ozpin, the character of this reincarnating guardian of Remnant, be someone that completely changes personality with the inclusion of Oscar's soul.
And that's why I'm really interested, because how they'll develop a character like that, that will, that doesn't happen often in stories.
Right, but to counterpoint it, Oscar is apparently a similar soul.
Right.
I also noticed that they paired Ozpin only reincarnated into men, which is, I don't know. I just think that's kind of a thing. It's like, okay, just to clarify, the maidens, female specific. Ozpin, male specific. So it's just it's very, very interesting. But with that being said, like-minded souls, that's essentially saying similar personality, similar aura, potentially even similar semblances. And I'm wondering if this is straight up one for all. And these semblances and abilities that Ozpin has is that he has tons of semblances. And the idea is that his abilities and his techniques stem from the weaving together of multiple souls over the millennia.
Because they said that we can transfer what her soul is bound to, or aura. So if Ozpin's soul is transferring to Oscar, does that mean his aura is transferring as well?
Yes. So Oscar should inherit every single one of Ozpin's abilities. Every single one.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
Which is kind of awesome, because if you think about it, it's straight up like Avatar style, reincarnation, past lives and such. Yep. And yet there's no over-the-top Avatar state mode to, win everything. But the techniques don't have to be learned all over again. They just need to make the final transfer. It's basically like you're transferring a very large thousands of terabytes of file over, internet across time and space.
Right.
And it's just going to be, 0.0001% and then 0.0002%,
So here's my question. In the fight between Ozpin and Cinder, were we seeing multiple semblances from all his previous lives? The force field, the flying, the time dilation. Well, yeah, when they finally ended up having the match of their energy blasts.
No. That's just repelling. That's just projecting your aura against the ground to jump farther. Everyone does that in this show.
Well,
but
we haven't seen sustained propulsion.
Yes, we have. The energy field, the time distortion thing where his whole
just the blur, and then
he had the after. It was almost like an after image thing, but it was like a continuation, like he was distorted. I thought that was really cool. The speed,
Yep.
the lightning of sorts.
That's true. Yep.
There's a possibility of that. I don't know if they're going to go with the route that you're going to talk about what these individual semblances are.
Right.
It's more like it's Ozpin's powers.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing, is that I think this, at this point, it almost confirms a lot of the... It adds a lot more fuel to the fire for the Ozpin is the wizard and the maiden story theories, because I feel like Ozpin is older than the maidens. Because
if he was cursed by the gods.
Yeah, I feel like he's the kind of person that made a mistake and is indebted to, the gods, essentially.
Sure, okay.
But him saying that the gods themselves both cursed him, it's kind of this thing of like, okay, you're not necessarily a guardian for the good guys. You're just a protector.
An anti-Salem.
Well, no, I think he might be someone that was... Okay, an anti-Salem in that, maybe he failed to stop her in the past.
Or maybe it's because of him that Salem exists.
Maybe.
Like,
I feel like there's a lot of theories that go into that route, but Ozpin being the wizard makes a lot of sense. Because imagine he hasn't found a way to stop Salem. He gets really depressed in one of his lives, and he just runs off into the woods and just lives his life as a hermit.
Yeah, I could see that. The question from there, then, though, is that if the tale is true, that means that Ozpin created the maidens.
Possibly.
Because that was how the legend went.
That's where
the maidens are the only ones that can unlock the vaults with the relics.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I don't want to get too much into the the sequence of things,
everything.
But I feel like there's more fuel to the Ozpin is the wizard theory. As to how it all fits, I don't know. But
So, I hope Ozpin is the wizard in a lot of ways, because I don't want them to introduce another ancient figure.
No, I think they could just go with the route that the wizard, it doesn't matter who it was. It's just a throwaway character.
Okay.
But with Oscar being in this state, and that he can just summon up Ozpin at will, he's a huge pivotal character to this story.
Yes, and I am so looking forward to the training sequences with Oscar training them.
Right. So with Nora, I feel like with Nora, she needs a little bit more development on her defense. She doesn't seem to have the ability to take more than a couple hits. Ren in particular, I feel like he needs to be able to use his semblance a little bit more effectively in an actual fight that's not against Grimm. Or maybe it's with him, he's already fine. Like Ren, it's like, Ren, just do a little bit more of what you're already doing, buddy.
Right. He
You're
doesn't
good.
really
You're badass.
He doesn't really have like especially strong strengths, but he doesn't really have especially
weaknesses either. Maybe his aura getting stronger as well. Him and Nora have the same problem. But Jean unlocking his semblance this volume, it is all but confirmed now, guys.
Yeah.
There were interviews that Miles and Carrie did. I think there were some other Kirby people there as well, but they were saying that the mechanics of aura and semblance are going to be more discussed in detail.
And
Jean's
kind of the place to do
semblance being unlocked is the perfect way to do that.
Especially when Oscar is overseeing it all, right?
And I don't think anyone... I don't think anyone didn't see this coming. I think everyone saw that Jean's semblance being unlocked through Ozpin in the reincarnated body of Oscar.
Right. Or at the very least through Crow, if Ozpin wasn't able to train them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of something that would need to happen.
It would need to happen soon. And I don't see any other characters that are primed to give that kind of teaching. Maybe Tai Yang, if we were doing this way in the future or something. Or if Tai Yang somehow chased after Yang because he was worried that she would go after the mother.
I still am kind of hoping that happens and that Tai Yang shows up at her camp and it's like, hey!
Oh, this is awkward! Well, I feel like we can't have Team Stark flashbacks until he leaves Patch.
Yes.
Once he leaves Patch, then Team Stark flashbacks are coming.
Yeah.
So with Jean's semblance being unlocked, there's a million theories out there of what it is. Right. I don't think any of us really have any theories we're holding too strongly to.
No.
Yeah. But the idea is his semblance going to be something that's game-breaking? Like something that just blows the power ceiling bit completely out of the water? Or is it going to be something simple that's just really helpful?
I think it's going to be more of that. Something simple that's really helpful. Because introducing any kind of new power, especially if you're going into any kind of explanation of what that power is.
Sure.
When you're doing that later in the story, it gets that feeling of like anime filler where you have to explain the new villain's power that needs to be
possibly
more powerful than
unless his abilities
else.
Can be explained in one word, Jacob.
Exactly. Right. And that's why I'm hoping that it's something more just simple and just generally useful.
Could it be both, though? Could it be
yes,
simple, helpful, and game-breaking?
It absolutely could be, but I think if they do that, what they'll do is they'll make it so that it's not necessarily like that at the beginning.
True.
Now, they haven't done very much as far as progression with semblances after they're discovered. That's usually been saved. Like, Weiss has done that, and we've seen a bit of that with RWBY with, like, going from just, like, dashing to, like, actually flying.
Yeah. So, there's that. RWBY focusing on hand-to-hand combat. I don't know how Ozpin being a teacher in hand-to-hand combat is like a thing. Well, but I guess if he has thousands of years of experience, he knows a lot of things. He basically is a relic of knowledge.
Well, here's what I'm wondering though. Okay, I am all for RWBY learning unarmed combat. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
But how is that going to help her in the fight to come?
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing that is just put in there to reference the Yang character short. And just the fact that we've seen her...
You are so much more easy to handle without that oversized gardening tool.
You know? Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point that more of the fans have brought up. But I feel like RWBY's semblance as well, and more specifically, maybe her silver eyes, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of the real
It's kind of a little bit bigger than just hand-to-hand
being able
combat.
To punch people. I mean, I know it's really cool
Ozpin,
when Crow does it.
Ozpin cannot give the, well, I'm not a silver eye warrior, I can't train you. Because Summer Rose was a silver-eyed warrior. If you mean to tell me that Ozpin wasn't involved in her life heavily, meaning that he knows like how much of those powers worked and stuff, I call BS on that. So maybe him saying hand-to-hand combat is kind of the thing of saying like, well, I don't really want to talk about this with everyone up front right now.
Yeah,
let's have a closer talk, and then if that happens, we could have talks about Summer Rose.
We could.
And what happened to her.
We could, and that would be so amazing. I get the
feeling
feeling he'd still be cryptic, though, because the Summer Rose stuff is going to be saved for when the characters that were present are present. Even though Crow's already there.
I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think it'd be more safe.
Stuff.
No, but I think it's more about the family. Not necessarily... Not necessarily Raven, not necessarily Crow, but...
So then does that mean that Yang needs to be there?
Yang might need to be there. But I feel like it's it's basically just RWBY, because she has she's the spitting image of Summer Rose.
Exactly.
She has the same abilities as her. And she has kind of the Red Like Roses Part 2 thing going on, where it's like the legacy being passed on, and really Ozpin putting potentially the burden of the main character upon her, like he did with Summer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's all speculation, but
that kind of does need to happen. And also, if Ozpin could help her, like maybe use her semblance a bit better, that would be really awesome. Because super speed is a little bit broken as far as like
and we don't know what her semblance fully is. Like there's the pedals, there's the speed, there's the teleporting, there's the
whatever that was when her cape actually like went everywhere. Maybe that was just a stylistic effect.
Yeah, but... I feel like aura being unlocked is a thing that is more of a training type thing that is universal to people that are training their aura.
Okay.
It's kind of the thing of like, we're going to teach you how to firebend. It's like, you need to learn proper breathing techniques. Oh, well, that translates well to almost every bending technique.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be how it is with aura, in that, if you learn to properly breathe better, your aura can be stronger at specific moments when you need it. Like something simple like that.
Yeah.
But we could find out more about how that would translate into specific semblances when they improve their aura. Basically, they're able to bring out more of their soul. They're able to project more of their soul out as a field.
And if aura is tied to semblance, which they've kind of said it is, then that could help their semblance. So. Mm-hmm.
So all good stuff there. And they said that this volume is about getting stronger, so I don't expect this whole training bit to be over quickly. I feel like it's going to be in like segments throughout the volume.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay.
Like, wouldn't it be cool if they do a little bit of training here? They get a little bit of a, we gotta go. Raven's tribe potentially could be moving.
We need to do this now.
We go there.
Yeah.
That whole thing gets resolved. They come back to Haven. They do a little bit more training. Maybe that's when Jean's semblance finally unlocks.
Or maybe it unlocks in the
at the tribe. Tribe. So and it's chaotic, and he doesn't know like what it is, but it's amazing. Yeah, I totally can see a cliffhanger right now where Jean does the clenched fist meme, and his hands start glowing white, and smoke comes off of them, and then the episode ends.
Well, that could have.
That's going to happen.
But yeah, like just to see what exactly it is, and this is one of the ways that it could be really cool. Okay, so when RWBY started, the way they showed their semblances was through showing, not telling. They didn't explain that. Like I think the thing of like RWBY has their speed. You know, you have your glyphs. My semblance is polarity. That was like the first time we'd even heard of semblances.
That's true.
I think.
Yep.
So if they did that same thing in the show, except that, oh no, Jean doesn't know what his semblance is either. No one knows what it is. They just look at what it does, and they're just like, okay, like, and then maybe they try and figure it out later.
Right.
But we can just have crazy stuff happen in the fights.
I feel like John's will be visually gorgeous. Yes. One of the things that I see as the fact that Jean's is that it's I hope it's very simple. But I feel like his might be just that flash of white light thing that we saw, and we don't know necessarily what that was. But yeah, something about light, something about that which mirrors in a way what Ruby's is with the silver eyes.
That's true.
And I don't know. I just thought that would be kind of a cool way to.
One of the things that I would love to see, and here's a way that it could just be kind of simple but OP. And I'm not going to go into like the way that they would do this, but the idea that Jean's would be just a general like supporting kind of semblance.
Yeah.
Because he is that guy who, you know, he'll plan the plans, he'll just help people when they're down, you know, whatever. Even if he's not that strong himself, that could be, you know, tied to the kind of person that he is.
Okay.
Even as he gets stronger, and then maybe that would be tied to his semblance, and then that would be like they could come up with a really creative semblance if they went down that avenue.
Right. I feel like they've had his semblance under like lock and key for the longest time.
Yeah.
But I feel like also they might have had multiple semblances that they've been kind of refining and looking at.
Sure.
Because I'm thinking about it from a writer's perspective. If I don't have to reveal something yet, I'm going to, and it's like I'm not dropping any like specific hints about it, other than maybe some very, very, very subtle things. You can drop redundant hints. You can drop hints that
that's true.
Are
that hint toward multiple things.
Hint towards multiple things. So what you,
I would totally do it the other way though. Like I would probably not even figure out the rest of the story, but just figure out this one thing and be like, okay, it's gonna be so cool, and I'm gonna drop these tiny little hints everywhere.
Possibly, but that's more of what they're doing with things like the more vague theories, like with Ozpin stuff, that where there's a whole group of people that think with, Crow, but there's a whole group of people that think that RWBY is Crow's daughter rather than Tai Yang's.
Yes.
And that's a whole thing that there has been some things that could potentially be hints, but you know, it's vague enough that it might not be.
Yeah.
It might just all be false flags and red herrings. So
exactly.
With the whole team getting better, but them learning through Oscar, Oscar might get stronger by teaching them.
That's true. They say, you know, you learn the most when you teach.
Right, but also if he is going to be the one that's kind of the model of the teaching, what if it's actually Ozpin teaching Oscar things
as he's teaching them?
And basically they get to just listen in as he's teaching Oscar.
What if they did, all right, since they haven't had much action so far this volume, what if they had the training be practical training? Where they basically
fight against each other.
No, they just all gang up on Oscar, and that's how Ozpin teaches.
It's like Shifu in Kung Fu Panda 1.
Exactly.
But you need greater speed, more height, and mentis subtlety, and you know all that stuff. I think that would be
like I know
that would be kind of fun to watch animated.
That would be fun to watch, and I know it's something
but
that's
been
done
goofy
many times, and it would be so goofy. But if you think about it, that's killing two birds in one stone. True. Because it's training Oscar on his aura, right? That would be sort of the handicap for Ozpin, maybe, is that he's in this new body that might not have, like, might not be able to do all the stuff that he would have been able to do otherwise. And then, of course, they all get to train because they're up against Ozpin, who will know every possible weakness with their fighting forms and, like, everything. And, like, imagine how that might be choreographed. Like, to show that so Ozpin really
I feel like,
has all those centuries
I feel like because
experience.
that, I'm breaking a little bit of the meta here, but I feel like they won't do that because it's a lot of...
because it'd be such an expensive, like...
Maybe they only do it for, 10 seconds. I don't know. We'll see. And they have the spectacles, like the viewpoint be from a very specific angle. I want to posit a theory that you're gonna like this. I don't like this theory, but I think this is one that you would appreciate. So Crow's going to look for huntsmen and huntresses in the underworld of Mistral. And Haven specifically. Who could he find in the underworld of Haven / Mistral? Oh, I don't know. Someone with a really brown, short, pink, and white inclination towards their costume.
Yes, I would love that. I thought you were going to make a reference to, like, the girl in the miniskirt. Like,
no, you're the one that wants to see Neo again so badly.
That would be, like...
That's a legitimate way you could have them bump into Neo. And the funny thing is that, what if Neo's completely different? She ran to Mistral to hide.
Yeah, just to disappear.
Yep. Also, there's the possibility that she doesn't even look like Neo anymore, except for the eyes.
That's true.
Because she can just change her appearance.
And Crow's never seen her before.
In
fact, the only person that's seen her is RWBY, and that was just
Yang.
Twice. No, but Yang's not there.
I know. But like, of the characters. Yeah. So, but it could be cool because then it's like they bring a whole group and there's this short little girl there, and RWBY's like, "You look familiar," and
would RWBY even notice?
she's like, she's not talking,
just shrugs.
But it's kind of this thing of like, wait a minute, what if the first person she talks to is Team Ranger? The fandom would lose their minds.
Oh my god!
But it'd be also great. It'd also be great if they had it be a twist where it was like there's a bunch of huntsmen and huntresses come in, and one of them, a short girl, doesn't look anything like Neo, and she's talking, and everyone's normal and stuff like that.
And they reveal Neo's voice later
before,
before
you know it's Neo.
Yeah, that would be so fantastic. Like,
so this is my dumb crackpot theory for
they would need to come up with an actual
reason that they'll do something Neo like that,
help them, but because Roman's gone, possibly.
I don't know. Maybe Neo had a crisis of conscience and saw. See, I feel like it's fan servicey to bring Neo in at all, because Neo's character.
But fan service in that sense isn't always a bad thing.
No, it's not. Make it work. No, it's not. I feel like Crow's character is a good example of fan service.
Yes,
he is the rule of cool personified. He's voiced by Vic Mignogna.
Yep.
And
of course they have
he has the best lines of almost anyone in the show.
Right.
But I just thought you would love to hear that idea.
I absolutely love that theory. Absolutely love that theory. Even I can tell, though, that's one of those ones that I want to be true more than I think it's going to be true.
But I was going to say,
but if they did,
do you think there could be some recurring characters that would come back via Crow's
I very much hope so, because
like Team Sun. Potentially.
Okay. Like characters that have already been established.
No, it's characters that we already know about.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would be interesting.
Like who would be the first picks?
Well, what I'm actually hoping is that they introduce new characters.
But then those people have their new shtick and then their new powers and stuff. There can't be too many of them, right?
I know.
Okay.
But if Crow if Crow goes into the underbelly to get huntresses and huntsmen. Mm-hmm. The idea is that, like, even if some of them are people we recognize,
right?
Unless he just can't get, like, basically anybody, and it
for some reason,
yeah. right, and they could totally do that. But unless that doesn't happen, if he gets a fair amount of people, at least odds are, at least some of them will be people that we don't know yet. And if they introduce people like that, since RWBY does such a great job of giving them great character designs and all that, I really hope that they actually get treated as characters and stick around for a little while, because those kinds of things make the world feel that much more immersive, because you're like, okay, if I go and talk to an NPC, I'll actually discover backstory and personality to them and stuff like that.
I think it would be cool to have them play it a little bit safe, actually. I think it would be cool to have them bring in like 5.
Sure.
5 characters.
Yeah, 5 would be plenty.
Only 1 or 2 of them are actually going to be characters.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fine.
1, I think, is actually a little bit ambitious. I think 2 is them just showing off, basically being like,
and hey,
these 2, like an Isaac and Miria, like, ridiculous couple.
Yes.
Like, I want to see a huntsman and huntress couple, and it's like, their relationship isn't, like, as obvious as, like, you know, how it works.
Sure.
But somehow it just does. And then maybe their weapons are synergistic or something. Like, I want them to basically go crazy with their design for characters.
And they bring in, like, Jeff and Griffin to voice act them or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Matt Hullum doesn't have a character right now for RWBY. Yeah. And he's one of the, you know...
Founding
fathers. And Jeff as well. I think Jeff would actually be a great, goofy...
Yes.
Comic relief... surly, kind of maybe a grumpy mercenary guy, and maybe he has a drinking problem. I don't know, and he has a lot of tattoos.
And that's how Crow knows him. Like they would be. He was like a contact,
right?
You know, and they would
He's
go
like a drinking buddy.
Yeah, drinking buddy. Yeah. You know, and while they would drink, you know, he'd tell them about stuff.
Yeah, that's another great thing to bring up.
If Neo came back.
Right. Say. But they could bring in some more RT talent. I think also they have the money now to where they don't have to cut corners like that. It would be more of like an Easter egg character that they would feel like it would be fun to have them voice.
Well, like with the Spring Maiden, like I was thinking like, no, there's no way they'd be able to hire
afford Jennifer
Hale. But I'm like, but wait a minute. But they do have Vic Mignogna.
Right.
They do have J. Michael Tatum. They do have Christopher Sabat.
Yeah.
And they did even have Laura Bailey make a couple random noises in Volume 3. You know, so
for the Fall Maiden.
Yeah. So it's like,
yeah.
I thought like, wait a minute, that might actually be Jennifer Hale.
Do you think that the Maiden's specific relic is also their curse? I'm getting some symbolism here. So basically my idea is the gods, calling them a good god and a bad god, or a dark god and a light god, is a bit too black and white, to put it, no pun intended. But the idea is that both gods, plural, cursed Ozpin.
Yes.
To go after Salem. So Salem might be an anti-gods villain rather than an anti-remnant villain. So I said, no, I just think it could go Gurren Lagann. But
and I mean,
but
hey,
hold on,
did love Gurren Lagann.
Hold on, I'm gonna draw a parallel here. The 2 maidens that we know about thus far, the Fall Maiden, Cinder, the Spring Maiden, obviously the Spring Maiden, whose name is like on the credits like Vernal or something like that. Interesting name, I like it. But you know what their relics that they correspond to are choice and knowledge. Now, listen to this. What is Cinder burdened with right now? Like
power.
Choice, power. I would say it's actually the choices that she has to make.
Well,
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch.
I would say that it's like that for everybody, no matter who they are.
Yes,
in
okay,
RWBY
all right.
In real life.
But the Spring Maiden couldn't bear the burden of responsibility, aka the knowledge of what she had to deal with. I don't know. I'm saying that there's
possibly. I would
it's
think
a bit
that
of a
would be more of
stretch.
Choice, though.
Okay, that's where it corresponds to both. But maybe.
Okay, but if they start like saying like Ruby's scythe will pierce the heavens, like, or you know, if the moon starts to like, if the moon turns into a Grimm, you know,
or like, if the moon is the home of the gods. And Salem attacked the moon and destroyed it. It kind of works.
It kind of does.
Like, he failed to stop Salem from, you know, maybe from killing the gods.
Yeah.
Maybe she already killed the gods.
Okay, here's a question.
This is where we go into crazy theories on an episode that has no correlation to this except for a random bit of exposition.
All right, hold on a second. So, the God of Darkness made the Grimm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they both made humans.
They both made humans
together.
But isn't one of the popular theories that the Grimm came from the moon?
Yes.
That the moon was like broken and that's where the Grimm came from.
Yes, that is a popular theory. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that would mean, if that's actually true, that the god of darkness used the moon to create the Grimm.
Sure. Okay.
Now, why? Why? Like, if that's true, why would he need to use the moon?
Oh, I think the connection point there is that he made them on the moon because he's on the moon. The idea that he's not really a, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent god. He's actually just a superpowered being. He's a very powerful being, and he just lives on the moon. Like, that's kind of silly if you think about it. But
it is silly. But the idea that they're drawing a connection, there's a potential connection between things that are like out there and like, okay, gods, right? And then things that are tangible and concrete. There's a moon up there and it's shattered.
It's one of the first mysteries we were introduced in the trailers that never got any attention put to it.
And I love that they didn't explain that, because like that was a great mystery. Like, you can show any kind of world you want. Like Star Wars did its whole like twin suns thing, right? But it's like, no, we're gonna show the moon. Oh yeah, the moon. Everyone knows the moon. This one's broken.
Yeah, and there's pieces floating
and there's
around
pieces
it. And
floating
they stay close to it because of the gravitational pull of the moon itself.
But
they're just chasing. They're chasing the rest of the moon in orbit around Remnant.
Like, as far as things to get me interested in a world, like, that one thing probably did more to get me interested in the world of Remnant,
right?
Than like
anything else in Volume 1, at least.
I would almost.
I think
say
the Grimm in Volume 2 got me really interested, because when Oobleck started expositing about that the fact that they evolved and they learned. Yeah, I was like, because then I thought, wait, Salem is old. When I thought back to Volume 2, I'm like, well, if Salem is old, and she's the main villain, what if she's just a highly evolved Grimm? I don't like that theory, but I don't know. There's a connection point to the Grimm there. Okay, wow, we went into crazy theories.
Tinfoil hats. Yeah, let's take those off. Yeah.
Yeah, I never take mine off. So the next episodes is really going to be a confrontation Menagerie, a confrontation at the tribe, a training bit in Haven, and Crow getting
those two things really. Crow getting the huntsman and the training bit with Oscar really seem to be the only sort of new things, because the conflict at Raven's tribe and the bit at Menagerie, we thought we were going to be happening this episode.
No, I'm talking about a confrontation between Weiss, Raven, and Yang. I'm just...
sure.
Well, and the Spring Maiden, of course, and the inhabitants of the tribe as well. But I'm meaning those women all basically being in the same scene at one point and talking.
I actually...
Oh my gosh.
This episode. But
I am so psyched for that.
It is going to be fantastic.
Yes. But then specifically with Ghira, basically they have these clusters of groups, and they're all slowly coming together.
Okay, kill it.
So excited.
All right, what is it? So Crow has a bad luck semblance, right? So if he did, for instance, walk past Neo,
her illusion could shatter for a split second.
No, not something like that.
Oh,
basically he is looking for huntsmen and huntresses,
and he just accidentally and unluckily stumbles upon her.
No. He's just nearby, and because of his bad luck charm, she thinks, that'd be a good idea. Like, for some reason, like, it's one of those things where like no and here's the other thing. We do not know whether Crow's semblance can extend. All right,
oh boy,
whether it's just in the present time or not.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
I think it is the present time.
Probably.
There was a bad luck thing that happened with the table breaking, and then Nora goes, "Good luck with that." I was like, "Wow, Nora, your lines are just gold this episode." What was that? I mean, also for the cute like moment this episode was them all staring at Oscar, and then of course Nora's.
Why don't we just call her Ida?
No. But yeah, it was an Ida moment where she was like, and then baby boy Ozpin, and or Oscar or something, and she's like, please don't call me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the synchronization of Oscar and Ozpin's voice
was very nice. It was very
sound
nice
editing,
effects.
that was very cool.
Yes. And again, I love how it fluctuated because it almost seemed like they were emphasizing which person would mean different lines more.
Yes. Yes,
and that's really cool. It's one of those little breadcrumb things. It's one of those things that's not necessarily like saying this is a thing.
Right.
But if you want to read into it, you can.
Yes.
And I love those.
Very good stuff, guys. Volume 5 so far shaping up to be one of the best volumes so far.
Yeah. It's going to be a doozy.
They need to deliver on the conflict stuff, and it's going to be
right. Because fantastic. So far it has been a lot of very good building up, but like if for some reason
Jacob, episode 2 happened. It's not just build up.
Oh well, yeah. Right. That's true.
Yeah, episode
that's
2
true.
happened.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and Weiss is at Raven's Tribe now.
That's true.
To episode 2.
That's true.
So, okay, this is gonna be exciting.
It will.
All right, guys, that'll be it for now, and we'll see you all later. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.